I'm off.
Hi, everyone. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It's Saturday, the 26th of August, 2023. And today we have a little switch in our schedule. Today, Will is channeling. Oh, there. Krishna Priya. I can never catch it. In any case, we have a switch in our schedule. Today we have Will Mitchell doing his normal gig a week early, and so that means Jim will do the next 2 weeks in a row to get us back on schedule. But welcome, Will, wherever you are. I think he's off to the side. Oh, there. Yeah, there's Will's hand. Hello, Will's hand. Why don't we start with some announcements? Go ahead, Ange.
Hi. We have our next gathering scheduled. It is next August 2024. It's the 8th through the 12th. It is $6.95 a person. It's a gathering, a coming together, a oneness, your starseed family, meeting your star, not meeting, but knowing who your star family is, getting together. It's all about oneness. It's all about gathering and bringing like-minded people together. It is, again, $6.95. If you're interested, please email classes@hucolo.org and I will get everything out to you on how to register. We are offering a payment plan. So if you want to send small payments, you can do that. Or you can just do the one-time payment as long as it's paid before July 2024. Again, classes@hucolo.org if you are interested or have any questions.
Perfect. Great. Actually, I think I'm going to start doing the payment plan myself.
Boop, boop.
So we can have a few blessings. Why don't we have, who wants to do a blessing? Hands in the air like you don't care. Susan.
Oh, yeah.
Bola, are you moving?
I'll do one.
No, Bola doesn't want to do a blessing. Okay. Angie and Susan. We'll start with Susan and then we'll come back. Is Will there to interpret or does anyone?
Yeah. Let's see. Sure. He said sure.
Okay, perfect. Great. Go ahead.
So in my room,
what?
In my room.
We were going to do blessings.
Yes, I was just going to say, in my room, I've got me, Will, and Katie is up from Delaware.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Hi, Katie.
Almost like Jim's place, having a lot of people at your house.
Katie, you want to do a blessing?
Katie, you want to do a blessing?
Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so we'll do Susan, Wendy, Angie, Katie.
Katie, okay.
Your Bola. She's good. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Is Will going to translate?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. To see kia he tikia. He is kutoa. He is sikuhua. Yetitaya. He is ikukaya titikuwa. Sikia itukutaya itia tutoa. He is ikaya tia tukutoya sikia. Sukutoya ita. He is ayatua. Hitia. What's it?
The light and the spirit that you bring in has different qualities, has different energies. You can tap into the higher energy. You can tap into the better qualities of what you are bringing towards you. Engage with this higher light. Bring it forth. Share it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. What did we say? Angie, and then we'll do Wendy. I mean, Wendy, and then we'll do Angie. Or we'll
Wendy, Angie, Katie.
Aranyara kuhuro tuhia makatuama itutuina nara kahita hoa papahiaka ichikdruiana na abara nanyiro tuhu kohoya matata ia kayana tohoranyara kairitu chimanandikta di kahayana no apa tutuyaran. Thank you.
The vastness of the universe is at your fingertips. The power the focus, your smallness is able to influence the vastness of this universe. Celebrate the vastness, celebrate you, celebrate your connections, celebrate your interactions, your influence, and your ability to be influenced.
Atutuura asianiataka ishi ipi inano ukoro irara asana ari iti ichikana otuura sananukotukura piata.
The ripples that you create and the ripples that you receive are just as important as the other. You are the center of your reality. Although you are a part of the bigger reality, your ripples from your perspective and what you receive is important to you and important to the universe. I don't know what that meant, but that's what they said.
Well, it means she better do what she's supposed to do. Because it's necessary. Hey, Katie, whenever you're ready.
Biara kia to shona lavre e miasta te kia tarkala reviama. Ndiero to kusatambe ki ekiro to kusataki via shamnasa legero kutaravama. E taratana hikia to usatavarabe ki sia taranaha.
Be gentle with yourselves as the waves of energy flow through you and emanate from you. Resistance to these waves will only cause the blockages, will crash against the break wall. Going with these waves and the flow of you and the universe will bring you to your peace and your power.
Thank you. Beautiful.
How's that?
I'm going to just turn off the camera while we switch seats so
Okay.
that Will can be in the hot seat.
No problem.
Give me just one moment, please.
Okay. So while they're switching seats, just a reminder that Human Colony does have a subscription service for $10 a month. You are able to be in the Zoom room with Jim, and twice a month, sometimes more. Twice a month with him, you're guaranteed to be able to ask a question. And that $10 a month really helps us out. You can go to hucolo.org. And then right there, you can become a subscriber. There's also some up and coming surprises we have for our subscribers only that we'll be talking about in the next few weeks. So now's a good time to get in on the bottom floor. Anyway, just joking. Anyway, much love to everyone, and thank you to everyone who does subscribe and supported Human Colony for these many years. We're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, which is pretty amazing considering, you know, we've seen a lot of channelers come and go, and we've been slowly plugging along and consistent, and we're still happy to show up here every week. So we're happy that you show up with us. Yay. Okay. Will, welcome, and thank you for filling in at the right moment and the right time.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm interested to watch the replay because it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting.
Okay, who are you channeling today?
There's a lot of people here and a lot of energies. They need to focus and settle, but the one who's been most boisterous this week is Horus. So we'll bring in Horus at the beginning. Okay,
perfect. All right. Well, whenever you're ready, we will go. And then, of course, anyone who has a question for Will, just indicate in the chat that you have a question. And also in the YouTube chat, if you're going to have questions for Will, I'll be watching YouTube, and we will take your questions as well. Great.
So my process is to speak light language to bring me up to a higher vibration. And then once I'm in that vibration, it's just much easier for the entity to just be with me. So bear with me. Oh, it's 11:11. Isa hututu atara isanariara atakarasihe. Shihara ta atar hasanahira. Greetings. I am Heru, Horus, as you call me, as the Greeks call me. Today, I would like to come and engage in conversation with you about your power, your inherent power, and the possibilities that come from it. You understanding more about your ability, your power, your inherent, let's say, control of the universe and lack of control, your interaction with this physical universe, your interaction with everything, how to manifest better, how to bring things, how to understand this physical universe, how to bring things to you faster, how to understand how it's going to work. But this is all inherent in your power. By understanding you and your power and your ability to focus and see things for what they are, then you can interact with it and start experimenting, start playing, start inviting it to interchange with you. Some things are inherently changeable and some things are inherently not changeable. Understanding the difference between the two unlocks more of your power. Understanding your connection to all the things, all the small things and all the big things, and understanding how you can leverage these connections is what allows people to understand that it's easy to do, or others to view it as it's simply magic that's just happening. It is a viewpoint, it is a perception, it is abilities to interact with those elements and the possibilities of those elements. By looking at it, by observing it and not observing it at the same time, we can discover and uncover secrets, hidden aspects of possibilities, let's call it. Because when we start observing those hidden aspects, we can then bring those hidden aspects to light and into this physicality and seemingly cause other elements to interact in ways that your scientists don't understand, and that other observers in this same area see it as magic, or how did you do that? That came so easy to you. It just seemed like it appeared now as opposed to, and it wasn't there. How do we do this? How do we come about doing this? How do we see it? How do we invite this potential to come forth? These are the things I would like to engage in conversation today, because I can talk all day, but whether you understand it, by you engaging in conversation with me about this, we can bring about an understanding that everyone will understand, as opposed to, as I'm hoping that you would understand. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions at this point, or observations, or somebody who wants to make a statement of what they claim is fact or truth? And then we can play with it to see how much truth it holds, or to see how much factualness it has. Maybe some people who are engaging in current manifestation or blessings, this is the same type of thing, because we're inviting things to come forth. We're inviting things to change, because everything is change. But how we see change and how we bring it forth, can we bring it forth in a predictable manner, a deterministic manner, or can we bring it forth in a more exciting manner? Does that make sense?
Yes, I don't have any questions at this very moment, but if you would continue down this line of thought, it would be very interesting.
Yes, yes. Everything in this physicality is connected by spirit. And we, as beings viewing this physicality, everybody has a different viewpoint. We think through communication that we're seeing things the same way. But in this physicality, we'll keep it in the 3D because we have these rules that we have observed through our lifetime, that when we drop something, it falls to the earth. And these types of things, legend has it that we can levitate an object. Legend has it that certain other things have happened, and heroes and gods and things. And the godlike behavior is just that those gods simply understood the universe in a different way than humans do today, and different than scientists view it. I mean, back then, the humans didn't quite understand the spaceships and things. They were just flying objects at that point. Today, most humans understand what it takes for a rocket to be launched, and has an idea, especially in this community, has an idea what an alien spaceship is, and basic properties, that it can hover and that it can fly and it can be here or not be here, or it zooms away so fast that it appears like it just disappears. Things like that. Does this make sense?
Yes. Yes.
But in this physicality I don't want to get too technical, on the subatomic level, each of these things has connections to everything else. Everything in the universe at the subatomic level really is connected to each other, no matter this idea of distance away. And we're not talking about the entanglement properties. We're just talking about there is an inherent connection between them. Whatever this idea is, there is a connection. If we can understand there's a connection at the lowest levels of this physicality, we can utilize this when bringing things towards us. Attracting it to us is the easiest way, because humans have this idea of time and the flow of time and the restrictions of time. And these restrictions, we can use it as it can be limiting, or it can be a focal point. Having these things come to us and using those properties of time and this idea of distance, can we go out of our heads on what these things mean? Because they're just a frame of understanding of what's going on. And if we understand that it's already connected to everything else everywhere, having it come to our observation point is an easy thing to do. We can send our observation point in our imagination over there, and we can view it. And then we can interact with it. And we can, therefore, it is now in our locality. These are the types of things that help bring it further. We can't do this without vibration. And our vibration is what enables us to, one, imagine it, and then two, bring it towards us. And if we pause for a moment as to our identity, and we start imagining the possibilities of that other thing over there, just imagining it is bringing our vibrations closer together. Therefore, it is bringing it closer to you, simply by imagining it and getting in your feelings about it. How do I feel? The human body was built around feelings, and understanding the feelings and connecting the feelings to the other object, matching its vibration, because this whole universe is built around, we have the energy involved is because of the differences in the two objects. And we can do work in this physicality because these two elements are different. And having those two elements come closer together is where the energy transfer happens, and these two elements become the same. And that is the attracting force. And it causes all the other connections of all the other objects to come together. That's at the lowest level of this universe. How can a human being utilize this besides what has been said and said and said about just vibrating with it? And your vibration will attract it. Yes, it is simply that. But how do we do this as a human being? How do we do this as a being who is in this physicality, who is fully experiencing this physicality, instead of daydreaming elsewhere? Well, when we're daydreaming elsewhere, what we really are experiencing something else. But in this physicality, while we're going to utilize this, how do we bring it towards us without having to understand how everything works in the universe? Your vibration will bring it towards you, simply. Do we have a question? I sense one.
I have a question. There's a couple questions. I have a question first, then Lily Pad, and then we have a question in the chat. Can you discuss how your will for manifestation is contrasted with the greater will of God, and how, or the greater will of the universe, and how sometimes your will may or may not be in alignment with the greater will, and even though you wish to manifest it, it doesn't manifest, at least in the way that you prefer. So can you talk about that disparity?
Yes. So let's not talk about the will of the universe right now. Okay. Let us talk about our will as an individual. So I'm not even going to classify it as a human will versus, because every sentient being has this idea of will. What I wish to attract to me, or what I wish to create. And this idea of I in the human form is ego. And ego is simply a tool, just like time, just like distance. It is a frame of reference. But as a human, we understand I as our only reference point. Okay, so every sentient being has a will and attraction point, I wish to create this. This is how I wish to interact with the universe. And let's not imagine that the universe has a will, a desire, okay? There are only basic elements, and they all have a vibration. And if to get
Is
them—
will frozen or am I frozen?
I do not believe that this is frozen, but I do not. I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
You're not frozen, Will.
Excellent. Excellent.
Please continue.
So by understanding, and we won't even call it our will or our desire, because the will and desire simply translates to a vibration and an attraction point. Because thinking too much about it just causes confusion, okay? And if everything in the universe is simply waiting for our interaction, is the egoic centric view. It's waiting for our interaction, and our interaction is our will, our vibration that reaches out to the universe. Everything in the universe will respond to the desire being sent out, the vibration being sent out, the invitation being sent out. Whether it is attracted to us depends on what we wish to create. Just like if you go to the store to buy a list of ingredients for a recipe, you're going to pick up everything at the store. And you are, in theory, attracted to each of the elements, and you bring it towards us. With the collective consciousness, there are other ideas of me that are also engaging in this physicality. And their vibration is going out and inviting into the universe, and they are attracting to them. So in a totally individual universe, you have sole control over the universe, and you can attract things to you easily because it is your imagination. This is how it works in your imagination. You can imagine anything happening to you, and anything that you find resistance to, it's only resistance in your own being and your imagination. Your imagination, your belief system won't allow your imagination to conceive of those ideas. It's all happening in your head. In the collective consciousness, everybody is engaging in, is drawing their own little pull on the elements of the universe. So this is the forces of the fields that are around. And if we understand the collective consciousness, if we engage in the collective consciousness, if we tap into the vibration of the collective consciousness, we can see the flow of elements and energies and bring things. We can utilize this information more to bring things to us as we prefer, using your words, instead of as it's going to come to me, using the laws of physics and the desires of the collective consciousness. Basically, the higher vibration you are, the more attraction points you are creating, and the more that you can bring to yourself, the more that you can excite in this field of possibilities, and the more that is manifestable according to the waves of creation of the collective consciousness. Those are a lot of big words. Did any of that make sense?
Yeah, made perfect sense. And also, just as you were saying that, I also heard that as your vibration is higher, that which you want also changes, and the things that you're seeking also usually will shift into something that's more oriented towards I don't know, a higher vibration. That's what I would say.
Well, yes, now you're engaging in the will of the universe.
Yes.
And the energy of the collective consciousness can be considered the will of the universe. But this is still the collective consciousness. And the collective consciousness is all based on locality. And we're just going to call it locality because your viewpoint, you can expand your viewpoint and you can consider your locality to be the 3 people in the room with you, or you can consider your locality, your neighborhood, your city, your country, your planet, your solar system, based on your focus. By engaging in your focus, you are limiting the field of interaction, the possibilities. You are focusing your possibilities on what can be presented. Still, vibration is key, and everyone in your locale is now contributing to your manifestations, which is why lower vibrational people find their way out of your lives and higher vibrational people find their way in as you raise your vibration. You are changing your locality based on your vibration. And this all happens naturally. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get rid of this person and this person and this person. I'm going to invite this person and this person and this person. This is a perfect example of egoic willpower. I want these people in. Well, guess what? They have a say in it too. Okay. No, I want to stay in your life even though you want me out, or I don't want to be a part of your life. This is an easier thing for humans to understand because most humans understand this. They have free will and they have a will and they have a determination either to stay in your life or not be involved in your life. Attachment to the idea of I need this person or I don't need this person. And we're using this as a reference because many people are emotionally tied to these people and or are triggered by these people. So humans can understand this emotional tie, emotional conflict, and shift in vibration, which can be detected in our emotions and what we wish to create. Did I go too far from what we were talking about before?
No, not at all. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed the answer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lily-Pad has a question.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Lily-Pad.
Oh, thank you, Horus. Well, I think you kind of answered my question because it was about collective consciousness. That's I've been for the past. I couldn't be. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, and sometimes I feel like to maybe do some breathing and relax me. And I called one time. You're right. Well, I don't understand the collective consciousness, but I try to connect with it. And I was wondering, how does it work when you're trying to connect with the collective consciousness? Why I was thinking, I guess, good thought of feeling love, trying to connect. But what happened when you hear maybe interruptions or a distortion thought? No, I don't know if it was positive or maybe, I don't know if it was negative or positive, but I was trying to connect and I was thinking good things. And then suddenly I heard a voice says, Lucifer. So I was wondering, is that my imagination? Is it me or what happened in that? Then it kind of scared me. No, I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I connected to something else? Or am I I want to understand what am I doing? What is happening when other thoughts that we think is negative, like the name Lucifer.
Yes.
What happened at that moment? And I was good until something in this there was interrupt and it got my attention, and then I stopped breathing, not breathing, but obviously no, but connecting. So what is happening at that moment when we're trying to put intention I just want to understand.
Yes. I think I understand your question, and I really appreciate this question. This question is vital. So I'm going to answer this question or engage in this conversation with you differently, meaning every channel out there, every being will have a different perspective on what this is. But the focus of this conversation and what I would like to bring forth is your power and your ability. Because we can talk about negative entities or non-negative entities. We can talk about thoughts. We can talk about anything like this. But you have observed it. And you were breathing with the intention of being calm and connecting in with the collective consciousness. And with your power, there is something in your belief system. We're not going to consider anything else, just that you and your power and your belief system. And power is simply your belief in your own ability to create and engage in the universe. You introduced or invited this idea of Lucifer into your connection with the collective consciousness.
I don't
Yes,
know.
there is this idea of Lucifer in the collective consciousness,
Okay, thank you.
but something that is in you and your belief system and your belief in your own ability, in your own power to connect to the collective consciousness. You thought of it because either you don't believe in your own value, or you wanted the reminder that you can overcome the most negative ideas because you were ready.
Yes, what I understood at the moment was like, oh, I have to accept him or him, it, because it's part of the collective. That's what I understood at the moment.
Yes. And there is the idea of Lucifer in the collective, but did you move past it, or did you get stuck with it?
I think I stopped it, but then afterwards, I understood it was part of it. The collective.
Yes.
I stopped it because I got kind of scared because in this plan, my belief is a negative, and then I thought maybe I should get to know this everything because it's part of the that's because it's part of the and if I want to understand the collective consciousness, Lucifer, in that case, I don't know where that name come from. It suddenly come from my mind. It get into my mind. It's part of it. Maybe I should be in peace with it. And if it's bad, if it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. That's what I understood. But I stopped it. When I stopped, and then I reflect, I rethink, and that's what I got.
Yes, and I like your process, because your process associated the word or the name Lucifer with negativity or non-productive thoughts.
Yes.
This is not aligned with what I wish to create or experience right now. But you also observed it and recognized it and decided to become at peace with it.
Yes.
That is the most important thing. Not that you're engaging it and calling in its power to you. You decided, I'm going to be at peace, because that's the whole idea of connecting with the collective consciousness anyway. By being at peace, we're suspending, we're allowing, but we're suspending all our limited beliefs of who we are so that we can engage more fully in the collective consciousness. And it came in, but you chose the peace. And then did you continue connecting with the collective consciousness? Or connecting with breathing?
Yes. Well, thank you. And it's very complex, the collective consciousness.
Yes.
I guess there is no end to it. It's just everything. I'm not sure, but well, thank you so much for your answer.
You're welcome.
And it's very interesting. I still don't know what the collective consciousness is, but I feel attracted to it. So
yes, it is every thought that everyone's having.
Okay. Yes.
That is it. Okay. And every thought that ever was and every thought that will happen, you are connecting to it. But your choices to be at peace is amazing. It is no matter what is happening, it can happen around me and it doesn't have to influence me. That is you returning to your inherent power.
Yes, that surprised me because I was feeling so much high, kind of like you say, high vibration, and then suddenly, boom, this is like a bomb for me, right? And but then I understood after I stopped, and then I rethink and understood the message, I guess. But thank you so much. I think there are more questions. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for engaging in the conversation.
Perfect. Thank you. Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello, Horus. So I have two questions. So my first one is regarding a couple years ago, I went to like a holistic expo and had an ancestral eye reading, also known as irogenics, where they take photos of your eyes and then analyze them to see various markings like in your iris can look like ancestor faces or can show different beliefs or energy patterns or family influences within your eye. And so I'm just wondering if you have any information about like how these images manifest into physicality, like within your eye. And I think they can change over time, if I remember correctly. But I think I remember seeing, or it was pointed out to me, like parts of my iris that look like my ancestors' faces, or I think if it's on one side of your eye or the other, or maybe one eye or the other, it can be like your maternal side or paternal side. And so I just found it very interesting. And I didn't get a full reading of my eyes, just more of a brief one. But if you have any insights about how that happens, I guess, how it becomes manifest in reality, that would be great.
Yes, yes. Your eyes, along with everything else in the universe, they're always changing, always changing. And the eye it's special to the humans because most of the perception comes through the eyes, and the most of the understanding of the reality of what we see comes through the eyes. By you engaging in this person and understanding that something you were attracted to it. So you were ready for the knowledge and the wisdom that came with it and the understanding of it. And because of the possibilities that you could see ancestors in either eye, they have framed your experience for you, and you resonated with this framing of the experience. You accepted it. Okay? Again, we're talking about you and your power. But somebody offered an experience to you. You resonated with this experience. You accepted the truth of it. And by accepting that and inviting that truth of that experience, it became true for you. This is your power. They took pictures, you saw things, and you interpreted things, and they interpreted things. And there was an exchange of information. And because they framed it as paternal and maternal, and you agreed with those ideas, you then chose to see those experiences through those two different lenses. Your power. You agreed to the framing of the storytelling, okay? But you also interpreted the storytelling, okay? From the field of possibilities. They helped you focus, you focused, you drew that experience to you, but you also drew it from you because it was relevant to you. And you saw things and you derive more meaning that you can put words to. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
So tell us more about this experience and what you saw and what you remember of what you saw. And what are these possibilities?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a couple years ago, so I don't remember fully what they said, but from that. So yeah, so I actually don't remember everything. I'll have to go back and look at the photos again, but I just thought it was just an interesting process. And yeah, just wondering if there's more about it.
So you used it as a tool, okay?
Yeah.
As a helper. You can do this entire process yourself. It's more engaging. And when we're in our evolution, our spiritual evolution, if we're not open to the possibilities, but we see a table at a show that we are open to those possibilities, then we can engage in that. And those possibilities now are open to us. Once we understand that we didn't need the tool of that table in the conversation of that person, more of your power is unleashed. But it's okay to use the table because you manifested it, your internal desires came forth and said, oh, let's go to that table. Let's interact. Let's find out more. And you did.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of it before then. So yeah, I could take photos of my own eyes now and see what see what things I see myself. Is a good idea. So
and you can see those things in others too.
Yeah.
Okay. And by staring into their eyes, by you setting your intention to be able to see that in other people's eyes, you can see their past lives, their past life influences, and help them come to an understanding, because you are now engaging in the energy flow between you and this other person, their auric field, and the possibilities of information in it that's relevant to them and relevant to you.
Yes, wonderful. I will definitely try that out for sure. So my second question is, this past Sunday, I hit my head and gave myself like a mild concussion, and I did get like a psychic reading yesterday, or asked a couple questions that it was related to me slowing down from working so hard and going in the heart more, and focusing on my creative passions, things like that. And I'm just wondering if there's any other insights about this experience that I created, as far as what I'm supposed to learn from it, and how it will help me move forward, in a more centered direction, or any insights from my guides or angels that wasn't revealed to me already. But
Okay. So let me engage in the conversation this way. What more information would be helpful or satisfying to you?
I'm wondering like how long I'll have these symptoms, if it'll resolve in the next couple weeks. And yeah, if it's related to me connecting more to my artwork, because I know that's part of my path too, and I've been kind of setting that aside. If I'm supposed to, as one way to connect into the heart, and because I know I'm supposed to create like energy infused artwork, and I guess I've been too busy or not making the time for it, and I know that brings me great joy. So I'm just wondering if that's part of it too.
Well, do you hear that you're answering your own question? You're just
Yes.
looking for permission from me to say yes. The physical manifestations of the symptoms of your concussion will go away when you finally release it, or when you accept your learning of why you created that.
That makes sense.
Your
Yeah.
guides did not create it. You created it. You are in your power, but your guides are always there to help you. Okay.
Yeah. I was told it was
And
a gentle nudge because I'm stubborn, and it was just to kind of nudge me to take some time out for myself. Yeah.
but the keys are to, if your goal is to remove the symptoms, do more things that are in your joy anyway. More breathing, more peace. That will help the physicality of your body anyway, and the blood flow of which will bring healing through the limitations of this physicality. But spiritually, when you're ready to let it go, it will let go. When you actually start doing what you intended to do by causing it, then it will go away.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you for helping me answer my own question in a way. So much blessings to you, Horus.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna just grab this question in the chat really quick. It's from YOLO. Says, does the multiverse theory apply to hidden objects? I asked for a clarification as to hidden objects, but I didn't get a response.
Excellent. So the multiverse theory, let's just talk about hidden objects. Because regardless of multiverse, hidden objects are just something that we either know that are there, that we hope that are there, that we have not observed yet, or that we have not accepted evidence of someone else observing it yet. By thinking that there are hidden objects, you are open to the possibilities that the universe can be arranged in those ways. Excellent. Because now you're engaging in possibilities, whether it's a hope or a knowing, you're engaging in the possibilities of how this universe can be arranged. Your curiosity about those hidden objects and what those hidden objects can be are the key to you bringing them to light, or creating them, or manifesting them, or attracting them to you. They're all the same thing. The universe can be arranged in any way, shape, or form. Some of the laws of the universe are fixed and cannot be broken because you have agreed to them. And other laws are not understood fully. And your engagement with them and to them are more flexible to what is known. Engage in your curiosity. Engage in what it can be. Imagine as to what it can be. And then those things will show up. By getting more people involved in your curiosity of these hidden objects, the collective consciousness, the power of your local collective consciousness will bring those to fruition. That is the law of the universe. Your ability to focus as a collective makes it happen. Does that make sense?
I believe so.
I got the yes.
YOLO. Speaking for YOLO.
And we only live omnipresently.
Thank you. Wendy has a question. Go ahead, Wendy.
Thank you. The question that I have is regarding this connection that I had to a dream last night. And with this dream, there was me looking off at the distance in a lightning sky, and then watching a volcanic eruption, and then watching, because we were beachside, quite a distance away, and then watching a change in the water. And then after that, going and sitting in a room, and it was a party. It was like a dinner party. So I'm just wondering what I'm viewing or remote viewing during that connection. Thank you.
Yes. A volcano is, the eruption of a volcano is a violent change or a quick change or a drastic change. And then you're going to a party, you're celebrating. You were creating this experience for yourself, for your greater understanding, for you to move more towards your celebration, whether you see it as violent change or you're not. You were allowing and observing this violent change, feeling the ripples of it, but not being overwhelmed by it, which is extremely important. By you not being overwhelmed by it, you maintained your control in observing the situation. And you maintained your vibration, is another way of saying it, during the fluctuations of this violent change. And you can see the celebration inside the party any way you want, is that you maintained your integrity during that. You received the information you needed to because there were ripples in the water. And even though this violent change that others would be fleeing from, you understood it as simply change. That it can influence you and not destroy you, not overwhelm you.
You know what? Now that you say it to me in that manner, I get the sensation that it was my mind's way of telling myself what I had been going through with these physical spasms through my body, because they did get very violent, completely shaking me side to side. and then this morning they weren't there. And last night, as I was nodding off, they were gentle versus the more violent physical experiences that I've been having over these past months.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Excellent. So are you done with those spasms then?
I'm not sure. I guess I have to wait and see. But I had a feeling that it was new energies coming in, or myself shifting up to this next, I don't know, to the next, right? We're always changing, moving, progressing. And that's what I think it represents, was the growth and the expansion from the recent traveling to Scotland and Ireland, the experiences that we had there, and, you know, that I had there uniquely. And then with my travel companions, with Susan, Joan, and my husband. But we each had something that we experienced. So yeah, definitely interesting. But you know, the other thing too that I've noticed is my heart is like having a lot of like fluctuation, like butterflies. And I kind of felt like it was like an opening to be more responsive to the universe. And I don't know really what that means, but that's like the intuition idea that I have in my mind.
Yes, being open is really liberating and joyful. When you understand we can engage in the universe by being more open to it, now we can be more playful with it, and we can bring more things that bring us joy towards us. By thinking we know everything, we are closing off our mind, we're closing off our heart, we're closing off all of our chakras. And because we think we have experienced everything. So we are now only going to live in our own internal small cycles. But by being open to the universe, we are open to our true joy of creativity. And we're open to the positivity, but the possibilities and the positivity in what can be created. It is a very beautiful experience. Relish in your heart opening, and relish in the joy that comes out and emanates, because when it emanates out, it is being reflected back to you. And this is only going to be positive reinforcement for you to continue doing what brings you true joy.
Wow, that's awesome. I recognize that within this true joy. I know that I've been talking about, you know, that I'm working on a book, but I see myself being led into it because I've been included in a book recently published a year ago, and now I'm getting ready to be included as a channeler within a book that's coming up, and I'll be able to, you know, host the author of that book here in the, you know, upcoming months, but you know, on our YouTube channels. So I see that that's just like kind of like a leaping point for, you know, for the book that I'm writing, and I know that there's more behind that. So I guess authors unite. Woo!
Yes, it is your attraction point, and you're excited about it, and that's the best part. Your excitement is drawing other excited particles, being messages towards you. This is the whole key to it, your excitement through it. And you being in joy and being at peace is allowing it to come to you and to expand with you. That's the whole beauty of it. And your joy of bringing it forth is simply amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't have anything else unless you have anything to advise me and the group.
Continue along your path of excitement and joy.
Beautiful. Blessings.
Because it will spark everyone into their paths of excitement and joy. They might not agree 100% with what you are doing, but that's okay. They can tap into your joy and your excitement about what you're doing, going, wow, I wish I were excited and joyful about what I'm doing. And then that is the sway needed for them to listen to their own joy and excitement and then let it come out. Does that make sense? So thank
Yes.
you.
Very beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Blessings.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. Lily Pat has a question, then we've got some questions in YouTube. Go ahead, Lily.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I was wondering, hello. I was wondering how, like sometimes, you know, when you close your eyes and how a bright light come into your head, and it's so bright that I have to open my physical eye because I guess I cannot, I don't know, I have my eyes closed, but it's too bright that you cannot bear it. So you have to open your physical eye. And how that, when I'm not manifesting, when I'm not, I think I'm not calling it, but it just happened.
Well, it is the light of your inner being.
Okay.
Okay. By being it overwhelming, though, this idea, and you can think of it as the light of God or the light of an angel or whatever, but the idea that this is overwhelming is along the idea of Lucifer before.
Oh.
Of you being afraid of your own inner light and your own ability to create in your own power. And so you open your eyes, accepting the reality of this physicality as something that you're more comfortable with. Okay?
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong with it. Okay? If you wish to explore more of your own inner light and see it, whether you're consciously engaging in it, vibrationally, you're ready for it because it is showing up. So on some level, you asked your inner light to show itself. Okay? And when you see it as your own inner light, you are stepping into your power. When you see it as the light of an angel or the light of God, you are still engaging in this idea of separation. You're still engaging in the idea that there is a brighter light out there than you, which is okay. Because when you are ready, you will see your own inner light and you will see that it is shining and it is just as bright as every other light that is out there. And engage in it when you're ready. And be afraid of it or not afraid of it. It is nothing to be afraid of. And just like our conversation earlier, that there is nothing to be afraid of.
Correct.
You had the idea of the most fearful thing out there, and you were at peace with it.
Yes, I understand.
So you can use that same peace with any fear that you have. This is great power.
Thank you. One last question.
Mhm.
So I guess what's the connection? I guess you when you have a dream, when you're dreaming or not even dreaming, when you're relaxing, close your eyes, you're in bed, and then suddenly you see like for example, last night it was a dream. This morning, I had a cat on my shoulder. It was and this cat was heavy on my shoulder. Someone was taking the cat out of it as he went. I had this dream that my body, my physical, I wake up because I can feel it in my physical body. And that's movements, my body. And then, so am I tuning? How is it how does it tune the physical body? And I guess the soul is interacted to each other, that when you're dreaming, you are in the physical, you feel everything was happening on the others in your dreams?
Yes, but you're overthinking it.
Okay.
Meaning that the dream world is a playful arena between your subconscious, which is still a part of your mind, and your inner being for what you're ready for, and your belief system. There's so many things involved in it. But what's most important with it, one, that it's a cat and it was on your shoulder. And what does the cat mean to you? What were you feeling because it was a cat? Okay. because you interpreting your own dreams and having the power to do that is important. You already have a basic understanding of it, but you understand now that the happenings in your dreams can have impact on your physical body and impact on this physicality. Okay? If it has an impact on your body, it can also, you can then make something show up on your nightstand. It is all the same thing.
Yeah.
So what does the cat represent to you?
Well, the cat means it was a grown cat. I thought it was a little, I haven't seen the cat for a long time. It was a black, yellow or gold, very hairy cat. And I was like, wow, it grows fast. Time went, and then I remember the cat when it was a kitty cat. And then I grown up, but I was heavy on my shoulder. But I didn't mind the cat. And I said, oh, I can feel they were taking them out. They wanted me to feel the heaviness. And then they said they were going to take it out. I can feel my body, my physical body moving. I felt this, they took the cat, I don't know, the weight out my shoulder.
Yes.
Basically,
yes.
that's what it was.
And that represents weights and responsibilities.
Yes.
A burden that you were perceiving in your own life.
Yes.
That your interaction in the dream world, your guides are interacting with your inner being to extract something energetically from you.
Yes, and I think that's part of the dream. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I understood. And let's say I'm watching a movie and someone is gonna kill someone or something. I feel it. It's like my body still moves, and it's just a movie. And I have people around me, and I find the cinema, movie theater. I know I'm like moving like I was shot. So why that happens and how, I guess a way to cut it is like just think about something else or look at on your side. Don't watch that part of the movie because you will feel it. And it's just a movie. It's imagination. So maybe my body becoming more sensitive. That's what I thought in the dream, and also in when I'm watching. If I watch a movie or
Yes. And again, don't overthink it.
okay.
Okay. One, you attracted this experience. You wanted this experience at some level of you because you went to the movie. And because you didn't turn your head away, yes, there are many, many, many solutions, but you were open to it. Okay. If you don't like horror movies, don't go to horror movies. Okay. If you don't like suspense movies, don't go to suspense movies. But apparently you like it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe there was an interesting storyline. And yes, something happened and you felt something. Excellent. That's the whole purpose of the movie experience, is to have an experience. And if it's more intense for you, you were open to this more intenseness of, and you can look at what the situation is. Was it just basic surprise? What was it that caused you to jump away? What caused you in your experience to want to pull away from it, to feel that deep emotion in it? This is all simply a reflection of you so that you can understand you, so that you can be more in your power and be more in your peace, which will allow your power just to be.
Thank you for your quick answer. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Is there any questions in your room, or are we good on that side?
We're good in here.
Okay, great. So there's a question from Cami. She says, wait a minute. Oh, so Swazi has a question. She said, can you tell me if numbers are significant? I'm born on 8/26, which is today. Happy birthday, Swazi. And she says, and I feel 8 is significant.
Yes. They are significant because you think they are significant. For those of you who do not think that the numbers and numerology is significant, then it is not significant to you. And you will be drawn to an interpretation of 8 and 826. Well, 2 and 6 is 8. So according to your decimal numerology, that it is an 8 and an 8. It is most of your human manifestation or human numerology reports that 8 is either luck or manifestation, and bringing those things to you. And this is what we're talking about. We're talking about your power and being in your power and being able to manifest. The numerology, your interest in it, and the meaning of the number 8, and accepting my answer of manifestation for the number 8, your strength and your power in manifestation, which is what we are talking about, gives you permission to be in your power, to sit in your power, to engage more in your power of peace, more excitedly, bringing things more towards you and attracting more and creating more and being more fulfilled. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully this gives you the permission to be more joyful, to be more magical, to create more, to be in your essence and in your peace, which inherently is your joy, which is your excitement, which is bringing everything to you.
Thank you so much. User 1 has a question. This is biblical, so for those who believe in the Bible, is the third seal broken? And can you predict how long we will have until the famine?
Which answer would you like? There are answers that some people call reality. There are some answers that other channels have deemed that it is true and that that third seal is already unbroken.
Well, the question is assumptive, and it sounds like it is. They're wanting confirmation that it's broken, and if you can predict until the famine, then that would mean they believe it's broken. So maybe give the reality, and then also give the reality.
Oh yes, I love your pointedness. From all of our conversations today, don't you understand that there is no reality? There is no truth. You are creating the truth. You are attracting it. You and your collective consciousness are the ones that are breaking the seals, and you are the ones who are attracting the famine. If you want this famine to happen, keep thinking like that. If you want to ignore it, and if a famine comes, you do not have to blame it upon the seal being broken. Okay? Famine is a fact of this planet. Great famine and small famine. So many times have people on this planet been declaring that the end is near or that we are at Armageddon. Imagine being in Europe, a part of the Black Plague. Life was destitute at this point. Whether you were going to live or die seemed like chance. The same thing can happen today. By you being more positive and focused on your joy, a famine will happen and a famine will not happen. But you are focused on your joy. You're not focused on creating this famine, proving that the seal is broken and that this famine is inevitable. This famine is not inevitable. You can create an alternate reality through your thoughts, through your actions, and by having a collective consciousness that does not partake in those thought patterns. 100 seals can be broken, and it does not matter. We do not have to engage in the Luciferian vibration. We can engage in the vibration of peace. We can engage in the vibration of our joy and our connectedness to all of the universe. And even if this famine does happen, and you do blame it on this third seal, you can choose to survive or you can choose to not survive. That is your power. That is your free will. And you can experience difficulty because of this famine, or you can experience abundance and include the famine in it. You have choices. Your collective consciousness has choices. There are many people who are predicting the future, and because one person had visions and it was captured in a book, and this book propagated, and this book became popular, now many people are agreeing with this idea that one person saw years and years ago. Everyone is having new thoughts every day. You can choose to believe in those ideas and bring those to fruition. You can choose to have your own thoughts and bring those to fruition. That is your power. So I am not going to be like everybody else and predict whether or not that happened and what is the timeline for a famine that in many realities has not happened and will not happen.
Maybe you can address the fact that there's famine ongoing throughout history all the time.
Yes. Famine happens. There's enough abundance on this planet that famine does not need to happen because of free will and because of the focal points of other individuals besides yourself. Everyone gets to choose how they're going to focus. And there are people who are either in power or influential, meaning the people who don't know themselves and understand their own vibration are willing to listen to other vibrations and other instructions. By accepting what they say as truth, you are changing your vibration and you are giving power to the idea. It is as simple as that, okay? And the power of the collective consciousness, and this is what the people in power understand. This is what the influencers understand, is that I can influence the vibration of the local collective consciousness, who's ever listening to it, who's ever open to it. And by introducing my vibrations to it, they do what I say is the idea of the people in power, or they're influenced by it, and more behavior is changed. But by you understanding your vibration, by you taking time with yourself, by being at peace, like the dream before, by choosing the peace, and by choosing understanding my vibration, then can, when you listen to the people who are in power and are pushing these ideas, or the influencers who are trying to influence with these ideas, you can know whether you truly resonate with these ideas or not. And you can then choose for yourself how you want to send out your energy to the universe through all the connections of all the subatomic particles and draw things to you. Do you wish to draw this famine experience to you? Or do you wish to draw a more abundant experience to you? Over time, when we look at what is written in the history books, that the ebb and flow of abundance of crops was controlled by water, was controlled by power, was controlled by influence, instead of, are we cooperating to feed everyone on the planet? Besides, how much power / money / influence can I control? What are the goals of vibration? But still, by you being focused on what brings out your joy, that is the most productive way to influence the collective consciousness. But by also respecting their vibration, let us go back to the Lucifer dream. By being at peace with this idea of this ultimate contrast or ultimate evil, by being at peace with it exists, I don't have to engage in it, and I don't have to engage in any of the vibrations along that. I'm going to be at peace. Now I can create as I wish, acknowledging it exists, but I can still create. I can still be at peace. That doesn't have to be my reality. And then over time, it will cease to exist. You will not recognize it. You will not see it. You will not create it. You will create the abundance of crops. You will create the abundance of water. You will create the abundance of cooperation between the collective consciousness. This is what the raising of the vibration of the collective consciousness is about. And many channels are talking about this raising of the vibration, the ascension, the event, the happening, the portals. All of these things are to bring more people in a higher vibration, which is really just more possibilities of creation. That's all it is. Because creation is happening no matter what the vibration is of this creation. If you choose to create the abundance of food, focus on it, feel what the abundance of food is for you and for everyone. Because the universe is waiting for your engagement. The universe, if we just think of them as things out there that will interact with us, it has no desire of its own. So we can utilize it. That is your power. What do you wish to create? Do you wish to break the seal? Do you wish to break the seal of your abundance? Do you wish to break the seal of the limitations and the boundaries of your mind? Do you wish to engage in the possibilities of the universe? Or do you wish to engage in the limitations that you think you know? Those are the questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Okay, there's a question from Swazi, and she says, my friend recently passed in July. I was wondering about how close we are to recently departed souls and if they can hear or feel us.
Yes. Every thought that we have of a recently departed soul connects over all these ideas of distance between them, between us. Because there is no separation. But from the human perspective, death is an end, and it's an end in perception. And seeing beyond death or seeing beyond the veil is a hard thing to do. But many people who are listening here are already open to the possibilities of seeing beyond the veil, seeing the unknown objects, by seeing spirit, by seeing our lost loved ones and connecting with them. These understandings brings them more to us. Whether this thought of this loved one just pops in and we think that it is them tapping us on the shoulder, or if we decide to think about them and that brings them closer to us, it is all the same thing. Because at some level, we were open to them communicating to us, whether we're fondly remembering or our inner being wants inspiration for moving forward. Everything is about forward movement no matter what. So if we bring something in from the past, we are using it as a launch pad for creating our future. So for some reason, it is a loved one. It is something that brings out emotion and joy, or we want to experience the loss of it for whatever reason. What is it that brings meaning for you is the important part. And how are you going to use it as a launch pad of inspiration for creation for you in your life?
Thank you so much. Let me see. I think that might be all the questions we have so far. That is all the questions that we have so far.
Excellent.
Hmm.
Well, I shall go then. Let us see. There are many here. Who wishes to come?
We do appreciate your insight and your wisdom. Thank you for being here, and much love to you.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I am Merlin.
Welcome, Merlin.
Someone called.
I would have to think that would be Ryan, but let me check. Ryan, do you have a question for Merlin or no? Is he here? Yeah. You're muted, Ryan.
Sorry, I didn't technically call Merlin, but since he's one of my spirit guides, I guess I'll accept any.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, your volume's very low.
Oh, sorry.
You hear me now?
Perfect, perfect.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't really call Merlin, but if he's willing to give me any general answers or any feedback, since he's one of my spirit guides, that would be great. Thank you. I'm surprised he just popped in here without me calling him.
So many of the ideas that Horus talked about are many of the ideas behind magic. Magic is engaging in the possibilities of those unknown objects or bringing them from the unknown into the known. Magical essence is just understanding how the universe works or being open to how it can unfold. Horus also talked about will and this divine will or the will of the universe, but more focused on your will and your willpower. And there's a balance. There's a balance between what you wish to create. How emotionally attached are you to it? Because any emotion to it is creating resistance to it. The peace with what you want to create is offering no resistance to the universe providing it, or the magic of manifesting and creating it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Some call it letting go, some calling it being at peace. Some call it getting out of your own way. And now we're not talking about the excitement or the joy that it's going to bring you. It's the, I need this joy in my life. I need this excitement, because that comes from, there's a void here. Let's not think of the void as a void. Let's think of it as an attraction point, okay? So this void that some people feel is also an attraction point, but it's attracting more void, if you understand. It's not attracting the abundance of feeling. The need is a weight. It's like the dream of the cat on that person's shoulder. The need for it, the overwhelming desire for it. Because if you have an overwhelming need or desire for it, you are now going to keep track of its progress. You're going to keep track of, is it here? What percentage is it? When can I actually hold it in my hands? And let's examine all those emotions around us measuring this thing. We're keeping it away from us is the simplest thing. But by us measuring it, and we're measuring the lack, we're measuring the distance of separation of it. Therefore, the universe only hears separation and therefore creates more separation of it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And this is one of the hardest things to understand about magic or manifestation. It's the individual's will misunderstanding the power in the will instead of engaging in the original thought of the will, and then either returning to the peace or returning to the joy or returning to the excitement and allowing the original intention to do all the work. The original intention is already out there that created an attraction point, and your vibration going away from that original intention.
What do you say? What do you mean about like intention in terms of misappropriating it in terms of magic? I'm sort of confused there.
Yes. So many people understand that they need to maintain an intention.
Right.
Rituals come about because of focused intention over this duration of time. And by maintaining focus and vibration or performing the ritual, by the end, we're following the recipe and that this item will manifest itself. Yes, but the whole part of this ritual, this manifestation, and every flourish is based on high vibration, in the vibration of the original intention, not of the intention that normally continues with the wavering mind after the fact. Some people just follow the procedure of the ritual and think that the ritual has the magic. Your vibration has the magic.
Right.
Okay. The ritual is a tool for you to maintain your vibration with focus, but not a grip on it. Your grip of it isn't focus, it's limiting what it can be. It does not allow it to come to creation, to manifestation, because you're clenching it too tight, you're crushing it. But by setting your vibration, setting your intention, and performing the ritual with the vibration of it and your joy of it and bringing it is the easiest way for manifestation, creation, a magician to bring forth. And that is the understanding of the piece of who you are, but the piece of the magic, the piece of what you wish to create with the magic. Instead of, I want it, 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 I demand it, I know it's here. Do you feel the vibration with that? It's self-entitled. It's demanding. And then when it doesn't show up, now our vibration changes because it didn't show up in the time frame in which we thought it would, and we measured it, and now we're attracting more disappointment, and it's no longer going to show up.
I agree. It's all about positive intention, in terms of magic or law of attraction. It's all about having a very high positive intention and not having a positive intention. Now that'll bring more manifestation to you as long as you have that high vibe intention. Is that what you're trying to say, essentially?
Yes, yes. And when performing the magic, feel the hand movements, feel the components, whether you're using crystals or herbs or powders, feel the vibration of it, feel the vibration of the magic, feel the vibration of the possibilities. be overjoyed instead of overwhelmed. Be overjoyed with the magic of the creation process of utilizing the magic. Whether you're doing basic flourishes, whether you're doing more complex, whether you're seeing and creating symbols, whether you're unlocking keys, whether you're revealing hidden objects, whatever it is, your engagement with the excitement, the tingliness of the magic. Do you feel your joy when you think of the tingliness of the magic?
Sometimes, yes.
I encourage you to engage more in that.
Okay.
Because by not engaging in that, that is our limiting beliefs. We're in our head. Feel the vibration, then we're not in our head, and then it happens, is the magic behind it. The focus on the vibration instead of focusing on the intention. The intention is set, it is defined, it has been created. It exists in the universe, in this matrix of time and space. It already exists. No more work needs to be done on it, that intention. Vibration is the rest of the magic. Vibration is going to close the gap between that idea of intention and you in your moment, your now, your reality. And that is the only difference. The waves of change. Can you make that change now? Can you allow it to be now? Is the true magic of it. By letting go, that magic will happen when it's ready, and when you're ready to see it, it'll show up through manifestation. But by believing in the process of the ritual or the flourish or whatever this is, this magical spell, by believing in its power and letting go and letting the spell do all the work, that is the power of the magic. Your belief caused your vibration to be open to the possibilities and the knowing of it working. You not believing in it, you not entrusting in it, is what's causing it to fail. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah, it does.
There's a subtle difference. And over time and overusing it, know that the magic is working, that you're engaging it. Just know that it's working.
Okay.
And then over time, it will happen faster and
Well,
faster.
you'll also help make it work because you're one of my spirit guides.
Well, yes, but I'm not separate from you.
That's true.
I'm simply an idea in your mind as a guide, one of the whispers in your ear that happens to come through your idea of this physicality, through this channel, through your computer screen. But still, Merlin or any of your guides, for everyone, your guides come through you and talk to you in whatever shape works for you, whether it comes in as knowing or comes through as a different channel. That all depends on how you're open to it. So yes, you can tell me and you can tell yourself that I'm the one who's causing the magic to happen in your life. I wish to engage in Horus's message that you are the empowered one. You are the one who is engaging in me, and your belief in me and my magical abilities is what's giving you permission to do the same.
Got it. Beautiful.
You're the magic.
Thank you. There is a
Thank
question.
you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I was just saying thank you so much, and thank you for coming in. I didn't even know I didn't ask for you, but thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Okay, Susan has a question. Go ahead, Susan.
Hello, Merlin. So I was wondering, what is the level of white magic on Gaia right now? And if there's going to be a level 4 class. I've taken the first 3. And if there's more flourishes coming, that would be available to us on the planets. And also whether I'm in the level of my high heart now with my white magic. Lots of questions.
I can only chuckle at all the questions. Okay. So, yes, I appreciate your interest in the level of white magic on the planet, and I appreciate your interest in your level of white magic through your chakras. As mentioned earlier, by you focused on those values, you are limiting yourself. Okay? Because if you allow it, you can be full up in all of your chakras, chock full of white magic, regardless of the quantity on Gaia that some other channel will tell you a value, because you assign meaning to that value and that number, but you also apply limitations to that number and that meaning. Understand?
Yes.
Don't let that hold you back. Okay. Now with white magic level 4, yes, the level 4 class is coming. Yes, there are more flourishes. And I might engage in anyone who is interested in taking the level 4 class. What are the flourishes you wish to see? Start thinking about those things.
Okay.
Okay? Because by you starting to think about those things, you are drawing the white magic to those ideas, and they will coalesce. And Corkellen and I will converse about it as to what the collective consciousness is ready for. What are the possibilities that can be brought forth? And yes, and there is another guide here who's willing to talk about white magic to people. She will reveal herself in time. And these flourishes. Many of you are at the point where you're seeing names of flourishes. You are seeing the energy of the flourishes because you are becoming more advanced. Don't let that stop you. Meaning that the flourishes do not have to be given by me or Corkellen or any other guide. If you are at least into the solar plexus, if you're into the sacral chakra, you are creating with the white magic. You are engaging with it. You are utilizing it, and you're using it in ways that you don't think you're already using it. And by having some in your solar plexus, you are engaging with your mind's will and your heart's will. But by having more in your heart, you are engaging with your heart's will, which at times is different than the conscious mind's will. And how it can come out. It comes out more loving, more accepting. And it's important for the progression of white magic to focus on the heart. And yes, focus on the higher heart, because the higher heart is a truer version of love, a more focused version of love and acceptance, both accepting of free will and engagement with the universe and the possibilities. There are many of you who will start to come up with flourishes. Excellent. Excellent. Write them down. Trust yourself. Feel it before you introduce it. Does it feel good? Okay? Does it feel good to you? Does it feel, and why do you feel the need to introduce it is another question. And when you feel the need to introduce it, well, does it have power? Will it draw more attention to me, or is it going to be of service? So these are all things with white magic with manifestation, with being a human, is, am I doing it for me? The ego is the biggest challenge for a human being. The ego is the biggest challenge for a magician. What am I? In the ego, the selfish ego is the biggest problem for creating with the universe, because that creates the most resistance for it. Yes, we can create flourishes, and we can then claim that it has power. By claiming that it has power, is it you and your selfish ego that is claiming that it has power, or are you allowing its true power to come forth? By creating a flourish is simply a recipe for others to engage in that same flourish. By allowing it to have its own energy and allowing it to have its own value, then it is what it is. And it is no longer about the person who talks about the flourish or gives the flourish. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes. Wonderful answer.
Excellent. So play with the white magic. If you're inspired to create a flourish or create a new way to clear energy or to engage in other things on whatever it is that the groups or the individuals are doing, white magic can be applied to everything. It is one of the basic building blocks. It's a way of seeing the basic building blocks and the forces, engaging in the forces of the universe. Simple
Yeah.
as that.
I know I and Wendy have played around with controlling the weather with some
Yes.
success. So that's been a lot of fun. So
Yes. And if you engage with curiosity, instead of, I demand it to happen, then I believe you will get more success with it. And you'll be more satisfied with the results. Because your satisfaction with the results is really the positive reinforcement you're building for yourself to continue doing it. So focus on your satisfaction with playing with the energies and doing the things that you're doing instead of the results.
yeah.
Okay?
And I really resonated with your answer for Ryan about what I've learned about manifestation too is, yeah, getting into that feeling space, letting go of the outcome, and just trusting and allowing the universe to bring it to you with divine timing, and knowing that it already exists and that it'll appear, you know, you've put the order into the universe and it will appear at the right time. But I had to learn through trial and error for it to like start showing up for me and manifesting for me in a positive way. So that's been my experience as well. So I totally resonated with your answer with that as well. So thank you very much. And I'll let, if anybody else has questions, to come forth, but thank you for coming today. Much love.
Thank you.
for the
Actually,
conversation.
someone does have a question. So I think that we can end on time. It would be wonderful if Merlin would give a beautiful blessing, and we can then go, and then I would ask also for Will to come back after that. But thank you very much, Merlin, sharing about magic, about life, truth of the universe. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Unexpected.
Is there another question or?
No.
Okay, excellent. So a blessing.
Yes, please.
I ask you all to close your eyes and breathe for a moment. To be okay with where you are and be okay with the way things are. And now let us imagine the possibilities. Just possibilities, not engaging in the possibilities. Invite in just the idea of possibilities. Allow the twinkling of possibilities to be around you. And imagine more and more possibilities tingling around you. And more. And more. Feel the excitement of these possibilities. Feel the tingliness. Feel the tangibility of them. Notice the ones that bring more excitement, more tingliness. And engage in the possibilities of how those that excite you to be arranged. Engage in this small blessing meditation of tingliness anytime you wish. Much love. Hello. Hello.
Sorry, I was frozen, so
Can you hear me?
I could hear you. I couldn't
hear me now?
I couldn't unmute, so I do apologize. Angie, would you like to thank you for the beautiful blessing? Angie, I thought you would be gone, so
I know. I'm gonna like, as soon as we hit the off button, I'm out the door.
okay, well, please quickly do an announcement, then we'll let you go.
Thank you so much. We have our gathering scheduled for next year. It is August 8th through August 12th, the start of the Lions Gate. I wanted to put in there. And so it is $6.95 a person. We are offering a payment plan because it is so far in advance. So if this is something that you want to do and you want to be able to come, but coming up with the amount so much, send an email to classes@hucolo.org and I will get all the information out to you for that. And it's about oneness, gathering, being together with everyone. I'm very excited for it.
Yes, me too.
Yes.
Yeah, great, perfect. So next week, thank you. First of all, thank you, Will, again for.
Thanks for having me.
And you're just here a week early. That's okay. But thank you for being here, especially in the moment of need. Are you going to go to this wedding now? That you're you're not going?
No, I don't know these individuals.
Right.
So
Okay, we were looking forward to seeing you in Lederhosen and a
That's
purple-
right.
yes. Yes, that's a different festival.
Robin
I've already been there.
in any case, but yeah, enjoy your afternoon as well. And you enjoy your wedding. Much love. We want pictures of you and Jim.
Yes.
And then next week, Jim will be back, and Jim will be here 2 weeks in a row. So hold on to your hats, and we'll see you guys next week. Much love to you. And please, if you're interested, you can subscribe to Human Colony for $10 a month, which is just a mere pittance. Katie just ran around back. I'll duck down. We saw her. So, okay, much love to everyone, and we'll see you next time. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.